They humiliated the cleaner in front of everyone. But when they found out who she was, it was too late. Everyone laughed at her, but no one imagined that this simple cleaner was hiding a past capable of silencing an entire party of millionaires. She was humiliated in front of everyone. They called her invisible, worthless, but when the truth came out, it was too late. This story will leave you speechless. She was treated like trash, but in the end, she proved to be the most powerful woman of that night. And it all started with a floor cloth in her hands and a secret no one could imagine. You will never look at a humble person the same way again. Get ready for a twist so emotional it will send chills down your spine. And if you have ever been judged by your appearance, this story is for you.
If you love emotional stories, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Here, we always have emotional stories that touch your heart. Now, shall we hear today's emotional story?
The luxury facade. A gigantic mansion lit with crystal chandeliers. Luxury cars park at the entrance. A security guard opens the door for guests dressed in the finest clothes. Classical music in the background. Clara, 43 years old. Her hair is simply tied back. Her eyes are tired. Her hands are calloused. A clean but old cleaning uniform. A serene face, but marked by life. Immediate empathy. She looks at the guests as if carrying something she can't say. The routine. Clara enters through the back. She goes to the kitchen and grabs her bucket and cloth. She greets other employees with a gentle smile. As the guests toast with champagne on the balcony, Clara discreetly cleans the floor next to the tables. A little girl spills juice and her mother just snaps her fingers for Clara to clean. She arrived early, cleaned every corner of the house, prepared the bathrooms, organized the cutlery, all for that perfect night. But no one there would know how her heart was silently bleeding. The first humiliation. Clara is kneeling, cleaning a broken glass, when a woman purposefully steps next to her, spilling wine on the floor and laughing with other socialites. "Hey, there's another little mess here, darling. You live to clean, don't you? So clean with gusto." Laughter in the background. Clara. She just lowers her head and takes a deep breath. Her gaze, firm but full of contained pain. She doesn't respond. It was always like this. People who never had to fight for anything, feeling entitled to diminish those who carry the world on their backs. The mysterious apparition. A well-dressed man whom no one knows arrives discreetly through the side door. He observes Clara from a distance. He touches his chest as if he has recognized something. But on that night, something was different. A man no one expected, a past that Clara believed was buried, was about to emerge. The secret begins to crumble. As Clara cleans near the fireplace, one of the madames purposely drops a glass near her. "Haven't you finished yet?" "So slow. Poor people are all like that, aren't they?" Clara holds the cloth tightly. For a second, her expression changes. She almost responds, but she swallows hard. They didn't know that this woman had once been one of the country's most brilliant minds, but she had chosen to disappear. And today, she was just a cleaner in their eyes. Quick flashback. Clara in an elegant suit giving a lecture in an auditorium, being honored, holding an award. Before all this, Clara was the chief engineer of a multinational corporation, fluent in 4 languages, a leader of billion-dollar projects. But one mistake, a betrayal, and a brutal event took everything from her. One of the guests vaguely recognizes Clara. I think I've seen you somewhere before." "No, impossible. Cleaners are all the same, another replies, laughing. Clara silences. She just smiles almost imperceptibly and continues cleaning. It was at this point that Clara always hesitated. Reveal who she was? Scream her story to everyone? Or remain invisible, as they had always made sure to keep her? The man approaches one of the hosts and whispers something. The host's eyes widen and he looks at Clara. What was said at that moment would be the beginning of everything. A party night, a night of masks, and a truth that no one was prepared to hear. Tension plus suspense. The host approaches Clara in the middle of the room. Everyone looks, expecting a scolding. But he asks her, "Excuse me, could you accompany me to the office for a moment?" Everyone looks at each other, confused. Clara just stares at him for a moment and accepts. In that moment, Clara felt that her past and her present were about to collide, and when that door closed, nothing would ever be the same. But what did he find out about her? What was Clara hiding from everyone? And why now, after so long, is everything coming to light?
The past knocks on the door. Clara enters the office with the host and the mysterious man already waiting for her. The host stares at her, confused, as if in front of someone he no longer recognized. The man introduces himself. "My name is Alvaro. Maybe you don't remember me, but I was your intern at Draft Tech 15 years ago." Clara's eyes widen. A spark of memory and pain crosses her face. She tried to forget that name, the company, the downfall, everything. But now the past was back and no longer in silence. Initial revelation. Alvaro opens a folder with documents. He shows newspaper clippings, old certificates of merit signed by Clara. The host, surprised, reads the contents. "You were the chief engineer of the country's largest infrastructure company." Clara hesitates, but she answers, her voice trembling, "I was, until the day I lost everything." And there, for the first time in a long time, she told her story. She told them about the fraud they set up in her name, about how she was used and then discarded, about the daughter she had to raise alone, and about why she chose to hide from the world. Deep flashback. A younger Clara being unjustly arrested in front of the press. Her small daughter crying, seeing her mother in handcuffs. Old recordings show her former glory being destroyed in front of the cameras. She fell from the top to the bottom in 1 week. She lost her job, her friends, her dignity. But she never lost the love for her daughter, and it was for her that she decided to survive. The host's reaction. The host, Roberto, looks at Clara with a shocked expression. "And why are you here today, cleaning my house?" Clara, firmly, "Because I needed to. Because even with everything I lost, my daughter needed to eat, she needed to study, and I never stopped fighting." In that moment, for the first time in many years, Clara allowed herself to stand tall, to speak with a firm voice, to show that being humble was not being weak. The judgment of the rich. They leave the office. The guests notice something strange. Murmurs begin. One of the socialites who had mocked her earlier asks loudly, "What is that woman doing there with the hosts of the party?" Alvaro then decides to tell. In the middle of the ballroom. This woman has built buildings, cities, dreams. She is much more than many here who only inherited money. Reaction, embarrassment, silence. Some walk away, ashamed. The new humiliation. One of the guests doesn't accept it. "Oh, is it fashionable now to romanticize the poor? If she were so good, she wouldn't have a cloth in her hand." Clara looks the woman in the eyes. Silence. Then she turns to get her purse. She is about to leave. Even after the truth, there were still blind eyes. People who preferred to humiliate rather than recognize. The unlikely invitation.
Alvaro catches up to her at the exit. "Clara, I recently took on an international project. We're putting together a team, and we need a technical leader, someone with experience, someone like you." Clara is speechless. It was the invitation she never expected to hear again, the chance to come back, but also the chance to show her daughter who she really was. The internal doubt. Clara enters the house's bathroom. She washes her face. She looks at herself in the mirror. She remembers the difficult days, the shame, the pain. Was there still strength inside her? Can someone who fell so low truly rise again? She smiles slightly and says to herself, "Yes, for me, for my daughter." The change begins. Clara leaves the bathroom. She is firm, confident. The party continues, but now everyone looks at her with different eyes. Some try to smile. Others just look away, full of guilt. "Clara, I thank everyone for showing me that my value does not depend on the clothes I wear, but on the story I carry." Preparation for the final turnaround. Roberto, the host, approaches Clara. "You have shamed all of us, and rightly so, but if you'll allow me, I'd love to help in any way possible to repair this injustice." For the first time, Clara didn't feel small in that ballroom, and the walls of that mansion had never been so silent in front of a humble woman. Suspense. Clara receives a phone call. It's from her daughter. She answers and smiles with tears in her eyes. "Daughter, I think Mom will be able to give you everything again, but this time with dignity." That night wasn't just a party. It was the rebirth of a woman the world tried to bury, but who now was back. But what will the reunion with her daughter be like? And what is yet to be revealed about Clara's downfall? What else does she hold that could change everything? Thank you for staying with me this far, but get ready because in the next block comes the most emotional moment of the entire story. You won't leave unscathed. The reunion. Clara arrives home, still in her cleaning uniform, but now with her eyes lit up. She opens the door slowly. Her daughter, Leah, 17, is at the table studying, surrounded by books. Leah runs and hugs her mother. "How was the party, Mom? Did they treat you well?" Clara takes a deep breath, holding back tears. "Daughter, today I discovered that no one can erase who we are inside." There in that hug, Clara found everything she needed, because even after the fall, her greatest achievement remained intact. The forgotten letter. Clara opens a drawer and takes out an old yellowed letter. On it is the name of the man who framed her years ago, Eduardo Marins, former partner at Drafttech. She rereads every word with teary eyes. The time has come. She had promised herself that she would never seek revenge, but now it was different. Now she had something she didn't have before, a voice. The final confrontation. Clara arranges a meeting with Eduardo. They meet at a simple cafe. He arrives with an air of superiority, arrogant. "You, after all these years, expecting what, an apology?" Clara takes the same envelope from her pocket. Inside, recordings, evidences, documents that she had kept in silence. "No, I waited for the right moment. I waited until I was sure you would have something to lose." Eduardo turns pale. Clara doesn't raise her voice. She speaks with dignity. "Today I no longer need justice. I am justice." And in that instant, without needing to shout, without needing to fight back with hatred, Clara recovered something that no one else could steal from her, her peace. The proposal for change. Clara talks to Alvaro, the man who met her again at the party. He shows her the contract for the new international project. "Clara, with your talent, you can lead this team. And what's more, I want you to help recruit young women who have also been silenced by the system." Clara smiles, moved. "If it's to lift other women up with me, then I accept." The new uniform. Clara enters a modern office, now in an elegant suit, her hair down, with a confident walk. Employees stand up when they see her. She nods discreetly, but with authority. On that day, Clara not only started over, she was reborn. The phone call from school. She answers a call from Leah's school. Her daughter has been invited to represent the school in a math Olympiad. "Ms. Clara, your daughter is brilliant. You have a lot to be proud of." She smiles and her eyes fill with tears. She is the best of everything I was able to be in human form. Recognition party. A few months later, Clara is invited to a new party, but this time as the guest of honor. In the same ballroom where she was humiliated, the same people who laughed now applaud her, standing. Clara: I came here today to show that everyone has the right to start over, and that a person's value is never in the clothes they wear, but in what they carry in their heart. Clara receives a collective hug from young women who now work with her. She's emotional. In the background, Leah watches everything with shining eyes, because sometimes you have to be stepped on to learn how to stand up stronger. And when life tries to put out your light, that's when you shine brightest. Final reflection. Final scene, Clara and Leah sitting on the porch of their house. They drink coffee, laughing. The sun sets on the horizon. Clara: did you know that Mom almost gave up? Leah: but you didn't give up, and now you are my greatest inspiration. How many Claras do you know out there? How many incredible people have you seen being humiliated just because they wear a uniform? Appearances are deceiving. The heart never is. Thank you for staying this far. Your presence in this video is what gives meaning to stories like this. But tell me in the comments, have you ever been underestimated for being humble? What part of this story touched your heart the most? Comment below, subscribe to the channel, and watch the next recommended video now, because the next story might just change your day.